In this video, we'll break down the entire skill of art into baby skills and build out a roadmap to developing art skill. You'll hear what to do if you weren't the art kid growing up, how video game statistics relate to art, and how play might be something you can improve in the same way you'd work on a skill like your golf swing. Let's go! Hey everyone, and welcome to Kyle Heath Art. Real quick, if you like this video, give it a like and follow my channel. And if you'd like to help me make more videos like this, please support me on Patreon. I've got a link down in the description. When a non-artist looks at a skillful artist's work, to the non-artist, it can look like magic. How the artist created something so lifelike with paint, or expressed something with such poignancy, is a mystery. It's pretty common to believe you either have the gift or you don't. If you have this point of view, then some people have been miraculously gifted with creativity or artistry from birth. And those were the kids you grew up with who were obsessed with art in school. They made art that was more skillful than everyone else, and they were the ones you could always trust to draw an awesome picture of Bart Simpson or some Sailor Moon fan art. But here's what I believe is the truth. Art has almost nothing to do with talent. It's a skill that is common to all of humanity, and it can be improved in exactly the same way as any skill. Cooking, basketball, hostage negotiation. A talented person is really just someone who is so motivated that they practice art a lot and learn about art a lot. Do this often, and you're inevitably going to get better. But most of us aren't brimming over with motivation. And even if we are, the way forward in your art practice is not always clear. For both of these problems, I'd like to present to you my roadmap to art skill. It's like a little map through the woods to show you how to get to where you want to go. My roadmap is a little different from most people's in that it not only includes the skills that constitute art, but also the skills that I believe constitute an artist. This is why I say that this roadmap can even help with problems like a lack of motivation. So let's start by taking a look at the art skills that everyone agrees on and see what I mean by breaking down the skills of art into fundamental sub-skills. The key to developing any skill is to break it down into manageable parts. The bottom level sub-skills are called the fundamentals, and they will literally take you all the way to mastery. If you have a discrepancy in skill and you want to improve, the answer is always to practice a fundamental. You can think of your overall art skill as like an RPG stat list. You have all these subcategories like your strength, dexterity, wisdom, and combined, they give a good sense of the level of your character. If you keep dying in a game, you may need to raise the level of one of those subcategories in order to progress. When you look at the normal breakdown of the fundamentals of art, it looks like this. The skill of art can be broken down into these sub-skills: drawing, values, color, and edges. So we're taking a big, complex, unwieldy challenge, make good art, and we're breaking it down into bite-sized pieces. If you want to improve your overall art, you can target improving one of these sub-skills, and your overall art will improve. This is great because it makes the process more methodical, more quantifiable. If your art is not good, it's not because you suck, or because your art is missing some special quality, some je ne sais quoi. It's because the drawing could be more accurate, or the colors are off, and that's something you can work with. Practice your drawing skills, and your overall art will improve. And this is a good time to mention, the quality of your art says nothing about your value as a person. You have worth and value in your very essence, and that can't be added to or reduced by your performance in art or in anything else. So when you look for weaknesses or areas of growth in your art, it's not personal. When we critique our art, we're doing something more mechanical. We're comparing it with our knowledge of good drawing, values, color, and edges, and then we're looking for discrepancies there. So, art can be broken down into drawing, values, color, and edges. I call these the hard skills of art, as opposed to the soft skills of art, which I'll talk about shortly. To this list, most people also add composition, but I'm going to keep that one in my pocket for now. So let's briefly look at each of these hard skills. I won't go into great detail on any of these. This video is just to give you the lay of the land, but in the future I'll have a video for each skill in my roadmap. Drawing is accurately placing lines or shapes in relation to other lines or shapes. If it's lines, then we're dealing with drawing, and if it's shapes, we're dealing with painting. So it's a skill of measurement. Is this line the right distance from this other line? Is it the right angle? Is it the right length? Values are the relative lightness or darkness of your shapes. This is the main way that we convey light and form. Color is choosing the correct hue, saturation, and value in your shapes. This has to do with the local color of your objects, the color of the light, the ambient color, and the texture of your objects. Edges are the hardness or softness in the transition between your shapes. This is affected by the values of your shapes, the forms, the amount of light, and the focal point of your painting. So these are the hard skills of art. And next we have a middle ground between hard skills and soft skills. In this middle ground we have composition, which I'll call design, as well as creativity. Design is the ratio of sameness versus difference in your painting. Or to use other words, wholeness versus contrast. We think of contrast often in terms of light and dark, but it's really any difference between elements. It could be difference in the size of shapes, difference in the amount of color saturation, difference in line weight. Contrast is variety, and variety is the spice of life. But just like in cooking, too much spice will make your creation unpalatable and chaotic. So you also need a healthy portion of unifying elements to show your viewer that you know where you're taking them. Creativity is putting two things together to make a new thing. Just like making creations out of Lego pieces, creativity requires components. So if you know what a horse looks like and you know what a horn looks like, you can stick the horn on the horse and you've created a unicorn. Creativity is heavily influenced by curiosity and focus. Curiosity builds up a library of ideas and experience, and that will expand the number of Lego pieces that you have to build with. And focus sets the environment where you put these pieces together and see what happens. And finally, we have the soft skills of art. These are play, engagement, and trust. While the hard skills are a deconstruction of the ideal art, the soft skills are a deconstruction of the ideal artist. We tend to overemphasize the value of developing our art, and we underemphasize the value of developing ourselves. This is a lot like planting seeds in a field that we haven't weeded, we haven't tilled, and we haven't fertilized. The results of that planting are going to be inefficient, hard work, and way less fruitful. I believe cultivating the qualities of an artist is just as important as training the hard skills of art. So here are the soft skills. Play is an interest in the process and a lessening of the importance of the results. This free state comes out when nothing is serious, nothing is important, and nothing needs to be worried about. When success or failure is looming in your mind, you can't experiment. Like all the soft skills, if you don't have this, all the middle and hard skills will have a hard time growing. Engagement could also be called the skill of seeing. This is being absorbed and noticing what's in front of you. What gets in the way of this is being on our own head, detached from the present moment, often because the present moment feels insufficient to us. And trust is relaxing the instinct to moralize or judge what you are doing. It can be summed up in the phrase, "Don't doubt your vibe." When we submit to what other people think that we should do, we do that out of self-preservation and a fear of uncertainty. When instead we trust our own self-authority, then our true self can start to express. Now, these soft skills may seem very general or abstract, but they can be practiced and improved on as mechanically as any other skill. Remember, these aren't things that you have to be endowed with at birth. These are things that you can work on in the same way as you'd work on your golf swing. The key value to these skills is they make you a more efficient art-making machine. By developing them, you're getting rid of major barriers that get in the way of your art. So there is the roadmap to art skill as I see it. You have a spectrum from surface skills that deal with art to deep skills that deal with the artist. As you develop each of these skills individually, the overall quality of your art increases. So just like our RPG example from the beginning, if you work on your sub-skills of, for example, drawing or creativity or play, as you increase the level of those little sub-skills, you're increasing the overall level of your art skill. I like this RPG way of looking at things because it's fun and it's not too personal. When you can have a good time with this stuff and not stress over your sense of identity too much, the wheels really start to turn and some beautiful self-expression starts to happen. So that's it. I've tried to be really brief with this video to just give you the lay of the land, but in the future, I'll make a detailed video about each of these sub-skills, including ways to cultivate them. Thanks for watching, friends. I really appreciate it. As per usual, if you liked this video, give it a like and subscribe to my channel. And if you want to help me make more videos like this, then support me on Patreon. The link is down in the description. Have a great day. See you later.